Hey guys, welcome back to Dace's Garage. So in today's episode what I thought we'd do is I thought I'd do a review of Autoglym's scratch removal kit. Never used this kit before, so I don't know how good it's going to be, but you will get an honest review from me. I've got a couple of scratches I need to attend to on my Focus ST, which is what we're going to use to experiment on. And so yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Right, so what do we have inside the box? So we've got a super resin polish, which is just a polish, the scratch remover itself, the applicator pad for the scratch remover, and the microfiber towel to remove that and also to remove this. So yeah, basically the premise of it is use this stuff on the applicator pad, rub it into the scratch up and down, left and right, as you would do with a machine polisher. And then work it in till the scratch disappears. It does say in the instructions that some scratches cannot be removed by this product, the same as any polish. Some scratches are just so deep you're never going to be able to remove them without proper paint correction. So yeah, that's the products as they are. We're going to use this first with this, and then we're going to buff it off, and then we're going to use the polish to do the rest of the paint. They do say that what you want to do is you want to attack just the scratch with this stuff and use that for the surrounding area. You do not want to use this over a large area because it's obviously quite an abrasive compound. So let's go and take a look at some scratches and let's see if this stuff can remove them. Right, so the very first scratch we're going to go after is this one right here. I've absolutely no idea how it got in the boot of my car, but it did. It's not deep enough that if I rub my finger over it, I can't really feel my finger catching it, which is a good thing. It basically means that the scratch is not so deep that it's gone straight through the lacquer coat, because if it goes through the lacquer coat, no amount of polish will fix it. So hopefully the scratch remover should do the trick. So let's take a bash at it right now. Right, okay, so it's done slightly better, not by anywhere near as much as I was expecting, so I'll maybe put a wee bit more in a cloth, but this time what I'm going to do is I'm only going to use one pea-sized amount right in the middle, because that was just too much for that one scratch. So we'll go at the scratch again, see if it makes a difference this time. It is getting there, to be fair. It's a lot less than it was. It's vastly improved it, I'll say that. I'm quite surprised though, if I'm being really honest, as a brutally honest review, that is not a deep scratch. Like, I've removed many a scratch in my time. That is not a deep scratch. It should not be struggling as hard to remove that. But we'll give it one more go, and if this doesn't work, we'll try a different scratch that's on the ST at the moment that hopefully it'll remove. And yeah, let's give it one more try. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. What I'll do is I'll let that sit for a minute. We'll go deal with another scratch, and then what I'll do is I will get some panel wipe, some IPA, most people would know it as, some isopropyl alcohol. I'll get some of that and we'll wipe that and see if it reappears. some of these, like, so the Maguire's compounds that you can buy, your consumer grade products, contain quite a lot of fillers, as I've said in quite a few comments in some of my videos. So what we'll do is we'll give it a panel wipe and see if that's the case with this product, if it's got a lot of fillers in it to make the scratch look less than it is. So let's move to another scratch, let's give it a try, see what happens, and then we'll come back to this one. Right, so we're going to go with this scratch this time. And I actually thought this was a lighter scratch, but I actually think they're much the same. The good thing about this scratch is it's on a much bigger area, so I'll be able to get a much more concentrated squeeze on the pad as I rub it in, because these things, they're quite good, but they're quite tricky because you can't apply, no matter which way you grip that, you're never going to get an even pressure across the whole pad. It's always going to be one particular area that gets the most amount of pressure. So slightly bigger than a pea-sized amount, I apologise. But so going after this scratch right here, and we'll do the exact same thing again, up and down, left and right, see what happens. I'll tell you one thing for nothing, look at the amount of almost like grit that is around there. So that is an insanely aggressive compound. Way more aggressive than I thought it would be, and I'm pretty sure if you applied that to a DA to try and remove a scratch, you'd remove the scratch no bother, but you'd probably remove quite a lot of your top coat as well. So I'll tell you what though, it's done a pretty good job of that one. Goodness gracious me, that's like night and day difference. I can't actually even remember where the original scratch was now. I think it was about there somewhere. I'll need to check when I go to edit it, but that's super impressive. I'm impressed that time. It's not bad at all. There's another wee scratch, right? So there's another wee scratch right there. So I'll try and remove that one just quickly as well, but we'll use a tiny little amount of this stuff this time. So I thought that was a deeper scratch than the other one, or as equal to deep depth of scratch. Clearly wasn't, because it removed it very easily. So what we'll very quickly do, before we go back and look at the other scratch and try and fix that, we're just going to panel wipe this and see if the scratch comes back. Right, so you'll just have to believe me when I say that inside this bottle it's some IPA and it's non-diluted. So it's actually G Technics panel wipe. I'll spray quite a liberal amount on the cloth, and I'm going to just give it a quick wipe over like that. We'll let that dry just quickly. So it removed it. I'm genuinely quite impressed. Panel wiped. I was expecting the panel wipe to reveal the scratch just slightly less, but it has completely removed it. I'm well chuffed with that. So let's go back to the other scratch and let's see if we can do the same thing to that one as well. Right, so this is the original scratch from the start of the video. What I did with the other scratch a minute ago was I applied a lot more pressure to the pad than I did with this first time round. So I'll try and apply the same amount of pressure again, which is quite a lot of pressure, and see if it removes it. And then if it does, awesome, we'll panel wipe it just to make sure that it's completely gone. And if it doesn't, then we'll see if it's improved it any from the original shot. Right, so before even removing this, I can tell you the scratch is still there, because you can still see it. I did apply it for the internet, for the keyboard warriors out there. Yes, I did apply way too much product that time. That's why I tried to remove some of it. I'm well aware that I put too much on. But I will say, it's quite a tricky thing to gauge, because if you're doing it on a bigger panel, this is a great size. if you're trying to do it on a bit of car that goes out, down and then in again, really tricky. It's too big a pad for what you're trying to achieve, but it's definitely not removed it. Yes, unfortunately I think this is just one of these scratches that I underestimated. It was obviously a lot deeper than I gave it credit for to begin with, because like I say, you watched it remove the second scratch that we attacked, but this one is no bueno at all. So what we'll do is we'll go and find one more scratch. There's a scratch I can see right now, actually. It's on the rear bumper. As you can see here, scratch is caused by one of my children trying to get into the boot of the car. Very annoying, but kids are kids, can't help that. It's just part and parcel of having a family. So what we'll do the exact same thing again. I will try and not use anywhere near as much product this time, because I clearly used way too much on the last run. So I'll just use a tiny pea-sized amount there right in the middle. You can see it. And we're going to go at this whole section just to see what it does. Not too bad at all. You can still see a couple of scratches there, but that could just be because I missed it with the polish when I was applying the pressure to it. So we'll give that section there a quick run as well. So it's done a pretty good job actually. It's done a pretty good job indeed. What we'll do now is take another bit of panel wipe and I'm just going to rub it over the area that we've just done. Right, so I'm actually quite impressed with that. That is a lot better than I originally gave it credit for, because it really has removed about 90% of the scratches in that part. It removed the second scratch really well, and I think the first scratch was just too deep for it. And to be fair to Autoglym, it does say in the instructions some scratches cannot be removed by this product. So they're telling you on the packet that, you know, some scratches that you're going to get in your car, this will not fix, which is actually really commendable, because a lot of polishes and scratch removers say they do one thing, but actually they don't anyway. They make it appear like it's a scratch remover, but it's not really. So not too shabby, I don't think. So yeah guys, that's it. That's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new around here, click the subscribe button for me, that would be awesome. Channel's starting to gain a bit of traction now. I'm getting quite a few daily subscribers, which is really good. Thanks to everybody that has been subscribing to the channel. It is a huge help to me, and I really appreciate all the feedback in the comments and things as well. It's just awesome. You guys are great. So yeah, with that guys, I will leave you about your day. I hope you have a good one, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.